Down to the wire. We have gotten inside 60 seconds of every contest and not known who is going to win that game. Falcons 6-4, Badgers 10-4 as they get ready to meet here in Georgia. And let us take a quick look at who will be on the floor for both. Starting with the Falcons. Johnson, Bradshaw, Brown, Weary, and Moxie. All part of that starting lineup. Meanwhile, there we go. Going to have all kinds of graphics pop across apparently. Before we get to the Badgers. And a noticeably different look to the starting lineup as compared to a day ago. Alfanua, Pennington, Evans, Thurber, and Bang for Snow College. And there's a reason, there's some logic behind it. Well, there always is, but there's some injury logic behind it. Had the injury yesterday to Hamiak Kanianga. Suffered a concussion, so just playing it safe. She is likely out for the rest of the weekend. Early, slow start this one, but we are very early into the ball game. Just 45 seconds into the contest. Falcons and Badgers literally all over the floor. And we've gone just about a minute without a score. But we've had all kinds of bodies on the floor, all kinds of turnovers, but nothing in the point production department. There's another body on the floor. Pennington knocked down. And she's going to come out of the ball game, and checking in the contest is Malia Elliott. So that knockdown a little more troublesome for Pennington than originally anticipated. Handed over to Valfanua. Picks up the dribble in the paint. He must scoop it over to Thurber. Thurber trying to hang on, stepped out of bounds. Trying to tip it back over to Elliott. Trying to think how far into a game I've ever called that it has been completely scoreless. Now, there have been games that almost went a quarter without one of the teams scoring, but in and out. And it was tipped out of bounds by Bang after the rebound by Moxie. But I don't know how far into a game we've actually gone without either team scoring. Don't have to worry or think or wonder anymore. Moxie dropping in the two at the 8:18 mark of the first. And is stolen away, headed to the other end of the floor. Brown. Over to Weary, and Weary with a miss. One more game to go. Gulf Coast State, South Georgia Tech in the nightcap. But for all practical purposes, 2 games left. I mean, I know we're into this game, but barely into it. And jump on the possession arrow will favor the Falcons. So technically, we don't have to, but for all practical purposes, we do. Put in play to Johnson. Dump down low to Moxie. Asking for it outside of the arc is Weary. And you got a push. I think that was Thurber, and it is.
Foul on number 22, Thurber, the first team first.
It'll be the first on Thurber. Down to Moxie, runs over Elliott. That's the offensive. So Moxie charged with a foul. And it'll be Snow College basketball. Over to Valfanua. Gives it to Elliott. Don't have a whole lot of time left to get it to midcourt. They won't worry about it because it is taken away. Brown leading in. Around the cylinder, no good. Moxie skying in for the rebound. It is picked up by Evans. Moxie trying to take it away. Again, you got the bodies on the floor thing going on. And finally, a timeout asked for by Snow. We're going after a Guinness Book of World Records. How many bodies wind up on the floor during the course of a 40-minute basketball game? We're en route to a record. In a 2-zip game.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Basketball fans of all ages here at the Hangar in Americus. Between the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, put in play to Elliott. And Elliott will get bumped on the way down. Picking up a foul is Weary. That'll be her first. And Elliott will put it in play from the near sidelines. Out to Bang, given back to Elliott. Evans, top scorer on this squad with it, top of the key. Handoff goes to Bang. Given to Valfanua. Looking for their first points of the game. Won't get it right there. Brown with a rebound. Out front it goes to Bradshaw. Back over to Brown. Puts it up from the elbow. Line drive shot, not there. Evans with it. Nearly taken away by Weary. Got Alicia Span in the game. Just stepped onto the floor for the Falcons. Evans. Kicking it over to Elliott. Got a 3-second violation on Evans. Okay, another thought to ponder. Lowest first quarter score. 2-zip currently. Over to Brown, and Brown walked with it. Of course, still got a lot of the corner to go. As it's put in play to Elliott. Works it right side, off the glass, not there. Got it back. Bang lost it. Evans tried to save it, stepped out. Delana Jakashevich into the game for Snow. Well, so far, nearly halfway through the quarter, there's no Snow. Okay, I'll stop at some point. Off with the bunny, Span with a miss. It's just good to have a college name that you can work with in so many different ways. There's Snow in Georgia. Snow between the holidays. No snow in the hangar. Put in play by Josino, gives it over to Elliott. Elliott will get the bucket, draw the foul. And Snow's on the board. Here comes Moxie back into the ball game as out goes Span for Daytona State. Elliott with a chance to give Snow their first lead. Instead, it stays a 2-2 contest. Out of the corner comes Bradshaw, given to Joy Harris, who is now in. And then you got a foul of the offensive variety charged to Moxie. And that'll be 2 on Moxie. Well, look at the stats. Falcons average 72 points a game. And let's see what you get typically from Snow. Well, their stat sheet a little different. Gonna have to do a little more digging. Looks like 75 a game. So between the two, 147 points a game. And currently we've got 4 combined points. At the 4:40 mark and at the game's first media timeout.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Two apiece, a bucket per team. 4:35 to play in the first stanza. Bradshaw shoots the 3 off the rim, rebounded by Johnson. Last touch, Snow. Falcons will keep it. Jimmy Barnes into the game for Snow. And as a matter of fact, I'm looking. I don't think there is a single starter. Yeah, there's one, Thurman. The only starter still on the floor for Snow at the moment. Over goes to Johnson, brings it into the paint, off the glass. Elliott going to the other side of the floor. Barnes bringing it into the paint. Trying to kiss it off the window. That will roll out of bounds. Vukasovic trying to get it back to the glass. Tipped away by Harris. And Osino will put it in play. Joy Harris coming out of the game. Laisha James checking in for the Falcons. Well, if you have just joined our coverage, nope, there's nothing wrong with the scoreboard. It's accurate. 4-2 game, almost 7 minutes in. And Brown will get fouled. Brown, a 75% free throw shooter, averaging just about 7 points a game. Off the glass, no good. Bradshaw. Actually, that is Johnson with a rebound. Into the corner, off the side of the backboard for James. And you got to walk. But if you got a couple of teams that average together 147 points a game, divide that by 4, you're looking at what? 30, 35 combined points per quarter. We're a little bit below that. Heels out of bounds for Hasino. Span back out of the game. Bradshaw to Johnson into the corner. Opposite side, Bradshaw launches the 3. She's got it. And a foul committed by Bradshaw. Now Elliott goes down. Bang back into the game. Thurber getting her first breather. And Elliott will head to the stripe. Her second trip there. Oh for 1 at the line. Now 1 for 2. Missed shot picked up by Evans, who is back in, but loses it. Other end of the floor from the corner. 3 is just a little bit strong from Johnson. Hasino flicking it over to Barnes. Puts it up from outside of the paint, just short of the target. Brown's got it. And there's a collision on the other end of the floor. Elliott committing the foul. Bucket good. There's the possibility of another. No, the offensive charge. Scratch that. Elliott, the recipient of the foul. Handed off to Barnes. Flips it down low to Bang, and Bang walks. Here comes Pennington back into the game. Elliott will leave. Elliott has all of the Snow points thus far. So all of your scoring for Snow thus far coming from the bench. James flipping it over to Bradshaw, down low to Brown. And you got a 3-second violation. Evans to Hasino. Pass intended for Bang, tipped away. Able to get it back as Evans brings it underneath, no good. Bang with the board. Back over to Evans. Wide left with a shot. Bradshaw will grab it. Topside give to James. Jumper is just a little bit strong from Johnson. Bassino down to Barnes. Barnes apparently fouled on the floor, I think. No bucket. And it'll be brought in from the baseline. Well, actually, it will be Barnes going to the stripe shooter. And the reason for shooting from the stripe is the bonus, not the fouled while shooting infraction. One of two goes Barnes. That's the first non-Elliott points of the game for Snow. Handed to Weary, who's back into the game. Marcino with a loose ball. Pennington over to Barnes. Down low to Emmons. And she'll drop it in. The leading scorer for Snow gets her first of the game. Well, it looks like neither team going to score in double digits in the first quarter. 8-6, Daytona State lead. We have played one in the third game of the day from the hangar in Americus. Coming up at halftime, we talk with Dr. John Watford, the president of South Georgia Tech. Here at the hangar in Americas. Underwent some improvements during the offseason. Miniature jumbotrons. Got a new scoreboard. Got a new horn. You know, it's got that big arena basketball horn sound. Snow win their second game of 3, but actually started their play yesterday. And the logic too, Snow College does not play on Sundays. So to get 3 games in, South Georgia Tech played them on Thursday. And they of course play now, they will play tomorrow and head back to Utah on Sunday. And as the result of South Georgia Tech playing last night, then they also will not play on Sunday. They played last night, will play tonight, and play tomorrow night. So instead of an event that goes 3 days, 4 games per day, it's actually a 4-game event, or 4-day event with 1 game the first day and 3 games the last. Bradshaw over to Brown. Brown down low to Moxie. Moxie playing with a couple of fouls back into the game. Johnson with a miss. Moxie's got it, and Moxie got fouled.
Foul on number
Moxie is 6'4". And she is as that is rolled around the cylinder from three-point range by Johnson. She is I've almost got myself into a mess here because she's got a great basketball frame at 6'4". Very athletic, very agile.
Number 34, Moxie, her third, team first.
I was trying to think as to how my wife would respond if I described her in a particular fashion. I mean, she just got a good 6'4" frame for basketball. And as I mentioned, she's also got the basketball moves. Used to be, well, let's face it, where women's basketball was concerned, 30, 40 years ago, if you had somebody 6'4", they were just 6'4". They didn't have the skills. Moxie's got the skill set. Dropped in from long range by Weary. Over it goes to Bang, out to Valfanua, who is back into the game. Bang with it. Sending a down low to Thurmer, and Thurmer committing the offensive. Ran over Nia Brown.
Number 22, Ainsley Thurber, her second.
Evans coming back into the game. Hosina will go out for Snow. Foul committed by Span.
Foul on number 21, Alicia Span, her first, team second.
Well, Snow struggling offensively, but here is the good side for Snow. Daytona State hasn't exactly set the world on fire. Valfanua, it is tipped, picked up by Johnson. Brown for three, in and out. Span with a rebound. Shoots over Thurmer, not there, tipped in the hands of Valfanua. Over it goes to Evans. Three ball too strong. Bang with it, tipped away by Brown. Bang got it back. And it goes to Evans. She'll back it out and reset the offense. Into the corner to Valfanua. Fend to Evans. And Evans injured, grasping the knee. On the other end of the floor, bucket good for Weary. And Evans, the leading scorer for this Snow College team, is struggling right now to walk, put any pressure on that knee. And an already banged up Snow squad is a little more banged up. Well, the good news is that with each step taken towards the sidelines, it did appear as though the walk got a little bit better. Well, a smile on the face is maybe a good sign for Snow College. Into the corner of Valfanua. Air ball on the three try. Retrieved by Brown. Johnson with a miss on the three. Pennington's got it. And then Span rolled over the backside of the Pennington legs. And will be charged with a personal. She'll come out. Joy Harris will come in. Snow struggling from the floor. Elliott back into the game, has it top of the key. Elliott's got 3 of the 7. Hosina, there's a 3 that gets them to double digits. Stolen away by Hosina. Misses the layup. Elliott, the follow-up, no good. Brown with it. Sends it to the other side of the floor. It is dropped in by Weary. The Commodores of Gulf Coast in the house. They'll be taking on the Jets of South Georgia Tech in about 90 minutes. Put in play to James, who is checked back into the game. Johnson gives it to Harris, puts up the 2-pointer and makes it Snow ×2. Tipped by Brown. Able to steal it away. Over to Johnson. Spins, shoots off the rim. Elliott with it. Hosina, another 3. Couple of big 3s from Hosina. Top side it goes to Brown. Brown into the paint. Left side of the rim. Lays it up. Lays it in. Elliott has it stolen away. Trying to get it to Bang. Taken away by Weary. Weary fades, fires. Rebounded by Thurber. Elliott at the timeline on the left side of the floor. Over it goes to Bang. Left wide open for the 3. Off the rim. Thurber's got it. Gives it back over to Nua. Hosina wants another 3. This one off the rim. Board snagged by Harris. Back into the corner it goes to Weary. Puts the jumper up over Thurber. Hosina with the rebound. Goes into the corner. Out front Thurber. 3-pointer en route. Off the rim with Brown in charge. And a timeout on the floor asked for by Daytona State. And it's our first break inside 3:31. Looks like we're going to turn it into a full media timeout. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Got some Badger fans in the stands making the trip from Utah, I would assume. Of course, I guess that's not necessarily true. They could be Badger fans from nearby or Badger alumni. But we'll make the assumption they are Badger fans from afar and have made the trip to Georgia. And hopefully that was a flight to Georgia. If it was a drive, it was a long one. Thrown out of bounds. Zoe Tennell tossing it out of bounds. She'll come out of the game, and Bradshaw will come in. I know I'm belaboring the point, but at halftime, if it was a normal game for these two, we'd have a combined 70-plus on the board. I'm not real confident with my predicting, but I'm going to say it ain't going to happen. Got a combined 35 currently. And have done that in 17 minutes. I don't think we're going to get 35 more in 3 minutes. Bradshaw giving it to Kaja Stewart, who is into the game. Stewart with a miss. Thurber's got it, hands it over to Elliott. And you got a walk by Hosino. Hosino coming out of the game, into the game is Jagvacevic. Brown out, or actually back in, and out goes Stewart for Daytona State. Flipped over to Bradshaw, sending it down low. Coming up a little bit short of Span. Johnson able to retrieve off the glass. Span with a follow-up, and it's good. Down to Barnes, who is back into the game. Span with the board, over it goes to Brown. Johnson with a three, it'll miss. Javakovic with a rebound, over it goes to Pennington. Down the floor to Barnes. Jumper from the stripe, it is dropped in by Bradshaw. Snow with a 6-point first quarter. They've had a 7-point second quarter thus far. And you got a walk by Barnes. To the glass, laid in by Brown. And Daytona State building a 15-point lead. Evans back into the game. Good to see her back in after the injury to the knee. Got her off the floor over to Valfanua from Pennington. Hosina left open for the three. Span will grab it. In the paint, left-handed shot for James, no good. Hosino taking it to the other end of the floor with a lob to Pennington. She'll lay it up, it is no good. Loose ball retrieved by Sugato Gaga. Yeah, I kind of just mumbled through it. And you're not sure how it's pronounced? Let's see. That would be Suguturaga. Rugaga. I've tried 3 times and given it 3 different variations. Maybe one of them is relatively close. Quarter and the half is over. In a 30-13 contest. Low scoring battle between these two. And it's reached the midpoint. Halfway there in Daytona State. with a 17-point lead.
The South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Great to have with us Dr. John Watford, president of South Georgia Tech. President Watford, how are you?
I'm doing great, Robert. Good to be with you today.
Good to have you on as well. This has become kind of an annual thing. About once a year, we talk about South Georgia Tech athletics, academics, and it's good to do it again in 2023-24. I want to ask you, first of all, obviously the most obvious change from last year to this year is there's a new coach there at South Georgia Tech. So a new era has started with Jason Carpenter. Let's go back in time to when James Frey decided to head to New Mexico and you implemented the process to name a new coach. Take us through that procedure.
Well, we were all sad to see James leave us, and he meant a lot and means a lot to South Georgia Tech. But we put together a committee of our vice presidents, and we included some outside folks. We had Commissioner Dave Elder, the commissioner for our region for the Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, to sit in on the interviews and give his input on the athletic side. And went through a very rigorous round of interviews, and of course they made a recommendation to me, and Coach Carpenter rose to the top as the creme de la creme, and I tell you, we're glad to have him. He is doing a fantastic job, not only as women's basketball coach, but as athletic director. He has taken on that role, and there's a lot of maturity in Jason. There's a lot of leadership skills there. And so far, I've just been thrilled with Jason Carpenter's leadership with the athletic programs.
Over the people that applied for the job, was there something in particular that kind of made him stand out, maybe more so? I mean, was there one item in particular or a combination of factors?
It was obviously a combination of factors. As much as we love Frey, we weren't looking for another Frey because there is no other James Frey. But there's also not another Jason Carpenter, and there's not another whoever. Everybody brings their own skill sets to the table. But the things we were looking for that Jason possessed were obviously the leadership and the ability to lead an entire athletic program, as well as coach a women's basketball team. But Jason, having been he was at Gulf Coast when we got him, and he had served also at I keep wanting to call it the old name up in North Georgia in Rome, but our biggest rival, and I can't think of their name right now, but he had been there, and
Georgia Highlands.
Georgia Highlands.
Yeah.
Georgia Highlands. Yeah. Thank you for that. It got me out of a pickle. I don't know how I could forget Georgia Highlands, as much grief as they've given us in Rome and here in Americas as well. But he had been there, and he'd been at Gulf Coast, so he knew our region. He knew the conference that we play in. And there's a lot to that because, at the national level, there's a lot of different mixes, and having coached down at Gulf Coast in Panama City, he's been part of that dynasty down there. Gulf Coast, Chipola, Florida Northwestern, and I'm probably missing a couple, but those schools always have really, really strong and intimidating basketball programs. So he brought a lot to the table on a lot of different levels.
Was there, I'm trying to think of the appropriate way to word this, but from the perspective of Jason coming in, I mean, a very successful program. So there's pressure on him to perform and to do it immediately. But obviously he's performed with some high pressure situations previously. So did you get a feel for a little bit of, I guess, nervousness on his part to begin with?
I wouldn't call it nervousness. I think he has the right temperament. He certainly has a respect for the position that he's in, and he wants to be, come out of the gate excelling as we all would, and he's doing a great job. But at the same time, and I had this heart to heart with him the other day. We cannot put unrealistic expectations on him. He had a month to prepare his team before we started playing jamborees and scrimmages, and even to fill the roster with some players. So the expectations are there, but we don't expect miracles this short into the game. Having said that, he's doing a fantastic job in bringing the players together and gelling, and he has a lot of athletic talent on that women's basketball team.
You are very supportive of the athletic program, and that's not necessarily true about all presidents. You will be there. You'll be watching. If you're in town, you got your familiar spot there in the hangar that you watch the ball game. Athletics, very important to any program, specifically South Georgia Tech, where you're concerned?
Absolutely. I have an advantage as a president that we only have one athletic program, and that's basketball, men's and women's basketball. So a lot of the other presidents, Georgia Highlands, for example, my dear friends up in Rome, they have a lot of sports, and I understand, their presidents can't be at every game for softball, soccer, baseball, basketball, men's and women's of each sport. I mean, it's impossible with the president's schedule. But I have the luxury of only having that one program, and no, I can't make every game, but it is important. And I tell you, we try to make at least one or two away games for each team a year, and more if we can. It means so much to those players. They know they've got your support. But when they see you in the stands and they see you there on a fairly regular basis, and they see you there at an away game every once in a while, it means something to them. And I encourage our Jets fans and Lady Jets fans, if you ever have a weekend or a weeknight that you see they're playing in Griffin or in Cuthbert or even Panama City or someplace like that, it makes a world of difference to those players when they look up and they see some familiar faces on those away games.
All right, let's talk a little academics. There's always things going on in South Georgia Tech, whether it's construction, whether it's bringing in new programs. So tell us, what is new in 23-24 that we didn't see in 22-23?
We are excited about several things. We have been approved by the Georgia Board of Nursing to begin the process of application for an LPN to RN bridge program. And we're hoping to bring that program in late 2024 or early 2025, where we can begin matriculating students who have a licensed practical nursing diploma, that they can come in and in another year earn their RN and sit for their registered nurse license. And so that's exciting. It's going to mean a lot of opportunities. And of course, we have a great nursing shortage in our state and our nation that we're trying to help mitigate. One of the other things that we've got going is a new truck driving pad on our Cordell campus. We have a 75,000 square foot facility in Crisp County that is very, very integral to the trucking industry and logistics, with an inland port, with 3 railroads intersecting and I-75 going through. So we have hired a full-time instructor and have ordered a couple of trucks and getting a 3-acre truck driving pad paved there. So we're excited about starting full-time truck driving in Cordell as well.
In this era of technology that seemingly is changing every 6 months to 12 months, it sounds to me that as a president of a community college, you're always thinking ahead to the needs that might be 3 or 4 years down the road in some cases. So how do you do that in this fast changing culture?
It is very difficult, Robert. We have advisory committees for every program on our campus, and that's men and women in the industry of that particular program. So they give us good advisement on what new procedures are coming, what new equipment to go ahead and start training our students on that is either new or coming in the very near future. But a lot of what we learned over the past decade or two is that technical college students, there was a day and time where everything was procedural and you just taught, well, you put this peg in this hole and you teach procedurally. Now everything has to be taught based on critical thinking skills, troubleshooting, because the computer program that I taught 30 something years ago doesn't exist. COBOL, RPG, all that stuff's not around anymore. But the critical thinking skills still apply to the computers of today. And so we try to teach our students not only on the equipment that's in the market today, but also how to critically think and troubleshoot, so that when they do encounter new procedures, new equipment, and so forth, that they'll be able to adapt readily.
Okay, so you've mentioned the RN program and the trucking pad as for things that are coming to South Georgia Tech in 23-24. What about next year and the year beyond? Do you see some things coming, or at least in the works currently?
Absolutely. We're always wanting to expand the things that make us different. We have partnerships with Caterpillar and John Deere. And I know you're familiar with those, where we train students across the southeastern United States, and for both of those major Fortune 500 companies. We want to enhance our partnerships. We want to grow our partnerships. We also, one of the other things that makes us different is our residence halls. We're one of only 2 technical colleges in Georgia that has on-campus housing, and so we're hoping to expand that and introduce more students to the opportunity to have campus life in a technical college environment.
In closing, and I don't know that we've done this ever before in a conversation, but how do interested students, potential students, how do they learn more about South Georgia Tech?
We would love for them to call us or come see us. They can reach out to us by phone. They can come on our website and express an interest. Our website is www.southgatech.edu. And there's information on there on how to apply, or just how to look at programs and see what we have to offer. We love to show people where we are. People think of Americus, Georgia, and Sumter County as being a rural place out of, not in the middle of everything. And to some degree that's true, but our college is a progressive, state-of-the-art technical community college. And we want to get people on our campus. So if they would like to come see us, tell them to reach out to South Georgia Tech and schedule a tour, or just drop in, and we'll be glad to show them whatever they want to see.
Dr. John Watford, president of South Georgia Tech, thanks so much for being our guest.
Thank you, Robert. We always enjoy and appreciate JockJive. Y'all do a great job for us.
Hey, thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
There you see some of the team stats in the first half, and the numbers were not particularly good. In some cases, man, I hate to say it, but just downright bad. And of course, coaches went on up to the same. Taking a look at some of the individual numbers. Top scorer in the first half for St. Pete, and the game overall, Bella Weary with 9 points. Top rebounders, Brown and Span with 7 each. The assist leader for Daytona State, Brown with 2. Most time on the floor belonged to Johnson, who was on the floor for 17 minutes and 36 seconds. And as far as any foul issues are concerned, the most serious, Moxie with 3. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor for Snow, as Valfanua comes down with the rebound off the Johnson miss. Top scorer with 6 was Hasino. Top rebounder with 6 was Hasino. The assist leader, Elliott, with 2. Most time on the floor was Thurber with 14 minutes and 51 seconds. And the most serious foul problems, Thurber with a couple. There were a total of 60 rebounds, the two teams combined, in the first half. It's a lot of rebounds, but you get a lot more rebounds with a lot of misses, and you had a lot of misses in the first half. Daytona State, 13 of 40 from the floor. And Snow, 4 of 32. Moxie with Thurber leaning, still able to get 2. Points off turnovers, Daytona State 19, Snow nothing off of the 12 Daytona State turnovers. Pennington out of the corner. Tucked it on the hip, shot misfires. Bench scoring 4 for Daytona State, and 10 of the 13 first half points came from the bench. 3 from the 5 starters for Snow in the first half. There was an old John Denver song from like the 70s that said, "Some days are diamond and some days are stone." That was a first half stone for Snow, trying to put together a second half diamond. Bradshaw with it. Back over to Weary. And Weary somehow, despite the defense, Valfanua in front of her, bang behind her, but still drops in the 2. Pennington weaving through Titans and can't get the shot over Moxie. Let's see who the foul is on. It is going to be charged to Johnson. Daytona State scoring 8 in the first, 22 in the second. Snow with 6 in the first, 7 in the second. And that is their third quarter point. Snow has not had a double-digit stanza yet. Over it goes to Bradshaw, launches the 3. Jakashevich with the rebound, handed over to Pennington. Works it into the corner, fires to the opposite side of the floor. Josino got the side of the backboard. Brown with the rebound. Zips it down to Weary, and Weary lays it up and in to expand the lead to 22. And prompt a Snow timeout. That lead just keeps building for the Falcons as we stop at the 6:06 mark for a break. Six minutes, 6 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. Daytona State with a 39-17 lead. Well, I think we're all a little lethargic after the Christmas holidays. Loaded up on stuff we don't typically eat, right? If you are a dieter, you probably didn't diet between Christmas and New Year's. Stolen away by Elliott. And this game has been a little bit on the lethargic side, but hey, if it's anything like its predecessors, don't worry about the gap currently. By the time we get to about the 2-minute mark in the 4th stanza, we won't know who's going to win it. Out of bounds, back into the ball game. Oh boy, here comes the, there's names I butcher, and then there's some I obliterate. This is an obliteration name. Sugu Turaga. Back into the ball game for Snow. By the way, good to have James Frey in the audience. He's the brainchild of this thing. The Holiday Classic here between the holidays. So I guess there's never been one he has missed, and I don't think there's going to be one that he misses this year. He'll be here in a different capacity, but here nonetheless. Sugu Turaga over into the corner to Evans. Lost the dribble and then dribbled it out of bounds. Got immediate timeout of the 4:36 mark. In a 39-17 game, Falcons on top of the Badgers. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Well, there's the guy in charge of all the great music that you hear here in the hangar, David Finley. And I was talking about lethargic, not David, but man, he's been playing some great stuff, and I've been noticing the crowd is just, I guess they just ain't too much to move. I mean, there's some songs, can you sit still through it? YMCA, any Michael Jackson song. What was that one he played? earlier from Van Halen. But everybody's kind of sitting still. I attribute that to too much candy, fruit cake, red velvet cake, pumpkin pie. Trying to think what I overindulged in. Carrot cake. I'm not a sweet eater, but I've always heard that it's not as important what you eat between Christmas and New Year's as what you consume between New Year's and Christmas. So, you know, I'm like, heck, it's not that relevant. Let's load up. Moxie at the line. In a 40-17 game, goes 1 of 2, rebounded by Thurmer, taken away by Bradshaw. Fed into the paint to Moxie, kicks it over to Weary. Weary for 3. Snow is trying to kind of get back into the game, and to get back into the game looking for their first double-digit quarter. They have scored 4 in the third. Their most productive quarter was the second when they scored 7. And when you go 10-4, 10-3 coming into the weekend, you are not a bad team. Just, they've struggled a bit in this one. Weary from outside of the paint feeds to Moxie, and Moxie off the window. Forward goes to Barnes. Back to Pennington, off the glass. Span drives, kicks it over into the corner, and the three-pointer is good for Johnson. And a timeout on the floor. It is called for by Snow. 27-point lead for the Falcons. 12.5 minutes left to go in the game.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Barnes to Hosino, into the corner, and goes to Pennington. She'll put up the long 2. It's not quite long enough. Thurmer slinging it onto the floor. Pennington gets it. Fires down low to Barnes. Moxie with the block. Pennington able to take it back. And the official stopping play. I am assuming it is clock related. Currently got the shot clock at 12, the game clock at 1:58, and the shot clock bumped to 24. Elliott putting it in play to Hosino. Thurmer handing it over to Pennington. Hosino putting up the 2 ball. It is no good. And James charged with climbing over the back of Elliott.
Foul number 1, Asia James. For first.
That'll be the first on James. Pennington putting it in play from the baseline. Lobs it out to Elliott. Thurber off the mark, rebounded by Spann. Fed over to Moxie, trying to send it back out front. Elliott dives to retrieve. Hosino's got it. Thurber over to Elliott, shoots from the stripe, off the mark. It is rebounded by James. Into the corner. That's a long 2, dropped in by Tennell. Hosino gives it to Barnes. Barnes lost it to the paint, got it back, short on the shot. Spann's got it. Hosino will grab it down low around the cylinder for Thurber, and there is your first double-digit corner for Snow. Stolen away by Barnes, gives it to Elliott. And Elliott dropping it in to make it a 50-25 game. Off the window for Bradshaw at the buzzer. We're heading into the 4th, and Daytona State looking to win for the 7th time this year.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area, right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
That's how you enjoy the game. Kind of kick back. Listening to, well, I've already speculated that with one of the young men that it was, he was watching or listening to our coverage. I was probably wrong then. If I said it again, I'd be wrong again. Probably got a little music. I doubt it is stuff that I listen to. But enjoying the game, enjoying the hangar, enjoying the basketball and the holidays here in Georgia. Elliott, Snow trying to put together a 4th that is corners 1, 2, and 3 combined. And here's the beauty of the game of basketball. It can happen. Of course, Daytona State will try to keep that from happening. Johnson over to Brown. Weary goes into the corner, out of the corner, and to the glass. That is Sicily Caligari into the game. We have not seen Caligari until now. Also another newcomer. That is Fizlapo into the game for Snow. Span kicking it over to Johnson. Johnson's three, dips in and out. And you got Span in some severe pain on the other end of the floor. I think just came down awkwardly, and I don't know if it is a knee or an ankle. Originally appeared to be a knee issue, and I think that is what is being worked on at the moment. But that was not a delayed response. Span tended to as we take a break. Well, let's keep it here. Boy, that is a good sign. Good to see her up, walking to the sidelines, and doing so underneath her own power. Earlier in the game, on the other side of the floor, Emily Evans. Something similar, went to the sidelines, initially looked very severe. And eventually Evans gets back into the ball game. Let's hope the same is true for Span. Speaking of Evans, had it at the top of the key briefly. Over to Elliott, then sends it to Fizlipo. Down front to Hasino. Short on the three, try Moxie with the rebound. Caligari with a miss from short range. And Elliott taking it to the snow into the floor. Fizlipo down low to Hasino. Hasino with a turnaround. Brown with a board. Trying to save it is Evans, but stepped out with it. Stewart back into the ball game for Daytona State. Out of the corner, James back into the corner with a pass to Bradshaw. Stewart sending it over to Bradshaw. Topside give goes to Tennell. Evans retrieving the loose ball at the 7.5-minute mark of the fourth. Hasino from the corner. Got the side of the backboard. Evans with it. And we'll go back out front to Stewart, but instead stayed in the paint too long. Hasino coming out of the game. And back into the contest is Sugu Turaga. Moxie with it, and she'll get fouled. The guilty party is Jakovacevic. And I was talking about Moxie earlier. Just an agile 6'4". And to go along with everything else, what about the name? I mean, that's just a great sports name, Moxie. 1 of 2 goes Moxie. Over it goes to Elliott, bringing it down low. Kicks it outside of the arc. Evans shoots the three. It's wide right. Sugu Turaga down with the rebound. Over it goes to Evans. And Evans knocked to the floor by Stewart. Daytona State, their first classic game with 2 more to go. Snow, their second with 1 more to go. Got Gulf Coast State and South Georgia Tech before we wrap the night up. Laid in by Tennell. Over it goes to Elliott. Flips it to Felicipo. And it's Evans for 3, and it's short. Tennell coming down with the rebound to the other end of the floor, laid up by Stewart off the rim. Evans with the rebound, and then Stewart with the reach. I think hooked Evans and will be charged with a foul. And that is at least 2. Barnes back into the game. Evans will go out. And for Snow at the 5:52 mark, there is not a single starter on the floor. Moxie committing the foul. Kovacic going to the stripe as Moxie will leave. I think that's Span, isn't it? Back on the floor. Let me look at the numbers. Yep, it is Span. That is good to see. So it appeared to be a serious injury to Span. Apparently not so much. Felt serious to begin with. But back into the game and gets the block on the shot attempt by Barnes. And then we'll come down with a loose ball. And you got Barnes committing the foul. A 25-point lead with 5 minutes to play. Over it goes to Weary. Bradshaw working it to the timeline, right side. Over to Brown. Back into the corner, Bradshaw, three-pointer, good. Off the window, no good. Moxie with the rebound. Flips it over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw for 3. Dips that one in and out. Zakacevic with the rebound. Over to Barnes. Perimeter 2 not there. Moxie with it. Barnes with the steal. And that is swatted out of bounds by Brown, and the foul committed as well. And that will take us to the media timeout. 3 minutes, 52 seconds left to play. And Daytona has almost doubled up on Snow.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Inside 4 minutes to play, the last media time out of the ball game. Daytona State with a 58-30 lead. First game that will not go down to the wire. Prior 3 did. This one won't. Isla Poe missing her first of 2 and missing her second as well. Brown with the rebound. And of course, Snow playing without one of their starters from a day ago, Kamiana Hawiaka Rangi, with the concussion into concussion protocol, having to sit out the game. And with her out of the ball game, you are talking about 9 points a game, nearly 10 points a game missing, as well as her roughly 5 rebounds per game. Might not have changed the victor, but you got to believe it might have changed the difference of the outcome. Bang with a miss, Brown with a board. Valfanua with it. Flips it over to Weary. Valfanua steps back behind the arc, launches the 3. There's the first points of the game for Sugu Turaga. Short on the 3 try. There is a lot of physicality in the paint. I think the officials have said, you know what, this one is basically decided. So we'll get a little lax with what we might have been calling earlier. 58-36 contest. Daytona State looking to go 1-0 in Lady Jet Holiday Classic play.
You've played some travel ball. You've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament. We're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Two minutes, 3 seconds left to play. One more game to go. Gulf Coast State, South Georgia Tech. And it will happen at 6 p.m. That was a little errant on the pass from Harris Allen. Allen getting into the ball game, took the inbounds and threw it out of bounds. And Snow calls the timeout with 2:01 to play. just about all white. Jones County diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. That's the Lady Jets getting ready to come into the ball game, or into the arena to play in a ball game. They're not going to come into this game. They got one of their own to 10-2. Gulf Coast State, South Georgia Tech coming up. Payne grabbing the loose ball, able to kick it out to Suga Turaga. Eventually lost, and James gets it. Felicipo going to the stripe after the foul. With 1:13 to play. Daytona State will improve to 7-4 on the year. Snow will fall to 10-5. Felicipo looking for first points. 0 for 3 at the line. She averages a point a game and gets it. Got her average and won a contest. Tennell over to Caligari. Harris into the corner. That is James for 3. Able to track it down in this corner. Fires back out front, trying to get it to Harris. Does so. Caligari for 3 off the rim. And that is out of bounds with 39 remaining in the game. Valfanua with a miss. Bangs got it. And she will bang it off the window for 2. Loose ball retrieved by Caligari. And Caligari will go to the stripe. Well, we can turn the shot clock off. 12 seconds remaining. Felicipo with the rebound. Over to Valfanua, and she will drop it in to put your final score at 60-42. And we are done with the 3rd game of the day, the 5th one of the Classic. Daytona State winning it by 18. 20 minutes away from the last game of the day. It's the Jets and the Commodores. Hey, that could be a concert, right? When they're a Jets team, and I know there was a Jets group, and I know there was a Commodores group. But it's going to be the Jets and the Commodores rocking the hangar when we come back in 20 minutes. Final game of the day. This one over, Daytona State wins it by 18. Thanks for watching. For all of us with South Georgia Tech, the Ladies Classic, and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.